Hi everyone, so at this point you are looking at milestone 2. Again, like with milestone 1, remember this is earlier stages, it's probably early to mid stage of your development. So you by this point will have known who your characters are, you'll have started staging it and perhaps are just in that development stage where there's still quite a few improvements to make, but generally we've got an idea practically of how you're going to do the whole piece. Just like with the other milestones, for the distinction, you must answer all red, amber and green tasks. For the merit, amber and red. And for the pass, just the red ones. All right? So, first question then, we need a paragraph, and please don't just answer the questions, write it in full sentences, so you must write the question within your answer. So again, we're going back to that practitioner work. So in milestone 1, you will have already talked about which practitioner and style you are using, but now we're looking at in our practical development. So when you've been rehearsing, how have you specifically been using that style and practitioner to influence and enhance your work? For the merit, you're going to need to give examples, so link back to a certain rehearsal where something was said or done, or link back to a particular scene where you've used that skill. So obviously for epic theatre, you might be thinking about your use of dramatic techniques. For theatre of cruelty, you might be thinking about how you're involving the audience or how your audience are sat. And then analysing the impact. Remember, whenever we analyse something in drama and performing arts, we're always coming back to what does it make the audience think, feel and understand about the characters and their situation. Question 2 then, and at any point you can pause this video and answer the questions as we're going. Alternatively, you can listen to my lovely voice and come back to it later. So question 2, character development and relationships. So we're explaining what they are and what you've been doing. So in milestone 1, you've said how the characters feel about each other and whether or not they've got some particularly interesting relationships. And now we're thinking about how we've developed those. So in milestone 1, you would have said what they were. Now we're talking about how we're developing them. So think about your use of proxemics. So remember, that's all about where we are in the room or at what level we are to each other. That shows the audience how we feel about each other. Think back to the example that I use quite often, where if I disliked another character, I wouldn't necessarily be stood close to them. I might be at quite a distance, I might have my arms folded, I might not give them eye contact. These are all great examples of what you could use to answer this question. For the merit, you must justify the importance of doing this. So why is that important for our audience? And then analyse the impact on your overall piece and intended impact on the audience. For question 3 then, overall development and weaker areas of the performance. So generally, how are things going? What's going quite well? What's really not working very well? And what are we identifying as our weaker scenes? Again, for the merit, you must add an example, so a specific scene or moment that you feel needs a lot of work. And then for the distinction, explaining how you will improve these areas going forward. Remember that in milestone 2, we did the roll on the wall, so that's that ROTW, which is the Jelly Belly Man. For the pass, you need to make sure that you have put these pictures into your work. You all got an email from me, so it's a matter of just skipping back through those and finding it, or dropping me an email and I will resend it you, and then annotate it. So we need some explanations of what things are and why you've said them. Next one then, what's going well and what currently needs improvement. You might find that you've answered some of this in question 3. Don't feel like you have to repeat yourself, but if there is something else that you feel you need to talk about, then please do so and make sure you add those examples. And it's not just about adding a simple example, it's giving a bit more detail. Finally then, set yourself detailed targets, analyse how these will help you improve your skills, techniques and professional practice. If you need any more help with this, guys, please do feel free to email me or message me on Teams and I will be happy to help. Stay safe.